Zonya's and stopwatch doesn't come out, but eventually Peloquin gets a beautiful Q off on her as well to finish her off. We have the Leona ultimate come through that stuns 2 of them, but again, she is so far behind that the W for her is going to basically do nothing for her. We do have Qiyana coming in to finally net the kill on the Antonio on the Jayce, and now Nyro's in trouble as well. The Qiyana ultimate almost hits, but she has to flash away, but Khan is waiting for her there as well to finally burst her down. Don't forget, the whole while, blue team is... What's up, y'all? It's BCawk here, and we're gonna hop right into the game today. We have a crazy game with many pro players on the EU West server preparing for mid-season invitational. I'm going to try to hop through this very quickly and make sure my sound is on. It is. Because we have, again, so many solid players in here. First and foremost, we have Peloquin in the top lane. That's the Antonio from the Spanish team, Vodafone Giants. So there's our first pro right there. Then we have Peace of Mind. He is a jungle main with 31 games and is Diamond 1 right now, but is already being placed in Challenger MMR this season in EU West. I do not believe he is a pro player. We have twitch.tv/NyroLoL. As the name suggests, he is a streamer. He has a 68% win rate on Katarina, and he has been forced to play Ahri this game because the Katarina was banned out for whatever reason. Next, we have SK Unforgiven in the bot lane. He is, just as it suggests, he's SK Unforgiven, a pro player for SK Prime. 63% win rate on Kaisa. Arrow Debate. He is RNG, or Royal Never Give Up Ming, the best support player, or has been harkened as the best support player in the world. He's hit master on the super server in 58 games and has currently a 69% win rate overall. We got the game started right now, so hopefully I can wrap this up quickly. In our top lane here, the Ryze player, it is actually Damwon Gaming's Khan. I've actually just casted a previous game with him in it. I've also mentioned that he is potentially the best top laner in the world. We have next Canyøn on our Lillia here. He is Manatee from the LDLCOL League, so another pro player. Hold on, we have a fight going on in the bottom lane. Looks like we had a little early game cheese from red team. Leona tried to catch anything she could out here, but nothing more is going to come from that. They're going to walk happily to lane. We're almost done here. I'm going to see if I can rip through the rest of these. Qiyana is my girlfriend. As the name suggests, Qiyana, one-trick pony in the mid lane, has 68 games played on the champion and a overall of a 74% win rate on her. So clearly a killer there. Not a pro player for once. But now let's move on to our bot lane for the blue team. There we go. Or the red team, excuse me. We have Iceland 18-year-old. That is PSG Talon's Doggo, the AD carry player for them. Nice headbutt, or excuse me, pulverized from the Alistar with the flash. Thanks to the jungle gate from the Graves. Aerobape is trying to get away. He might just barely, but the flash from Leona is able to finish him off. Now Neo's going to have to be on the run here from both the jungler and SK Unforgiven. Will he get away? More than likely not. Let's make sure the directed camera gets this back over there for the action. He's going to try to get away as much as possible, but that Kaisa passive is going to go ahead and spell the end of his fate. Almost a kill on Qiyana is my GF from the mid lane here, but unfortunately not enough there. And now we have more action going on in the top lane. Ryze is going to be able to push this Jayce out of lane. And now we'll continue with our final player that was unmentioned. Hold on, Qiyana's in trouble here. Again, super high win rate with the champion, so wouldn't be surprised if an outplay, but it's not going to happen. We also have next Canyøn in here. Will he be able to push Graves away? He does. Gets a nice little Dark Harvest stack for his trouble. And that will be it. So already 3-2, blue team favored here. 2 kills going down to the jungler Graves. Again, Peace of Mind is going to be our jungle main, who is Diamond 1 right now and only 31 games in Challenger. So he clearly is going to want to have a great showing in this game that is just loaded with pros. Loaded with some great talent, and clearly he's showing what he's worth and how he was able to get this high so quickly already. I'm really curious if Peace of Mind is actually a pro player, considering how fast he has reached the Challenger MMR, but unfortunately there was no more information on him. Nyro gets a nice charm off on Qiyana in the mid lane. Unfortunately, he's basically out of mana here, so he needs to be a little bit more careful because Qiyana's more than likely just be able to auto-attack him down. She does almost get the second half of her Spirit Orb down on the Qiyana, which would have netted the kill, but a nice flash away eventually nets the kill for Qiyana instead. A nice 3-3 here already in the game, pretty even. We have Aerobape or Ming making his way to the middle lane, trying to get a headbutt pull combo off. Potentially Peace of Mind will be able to hop in here and get some additional damage off, but he's not going to be able to. Qiyana is a little bit too mobile there, and she's just going to walk away. The only player we weren't able to mention, oh, hold on. Here comes Ming unaware of the little cheese gank in the bush that is waiting for him there. No vision allowed, and some great positioning from the red team allows them to net a pretty early kill on him. So much action happening in the first 4 minutes. We already have more than a kill a minute in this game, and I mean, again, the speed's going to be so much more kind of cranked up in this game, considering all the talent we have in here. Basically, everybody in this game has about a 60% win rate or higher on the champions they're playing, or even just overall in Challenger solo queue, which is pretty much unheard of. We have Khan flashing in onto Peluking. He's going to be able to do enough damage and also bust the flash from the Jayce, which is going to net him a pretty big win up there. Again, Peluking is the Antonio from Vodafone Giants, going up against the world-class top laner in Khan, DWG or Damwon Gaming's Khan up there. He is just experience-wise a little bit outclassed, but I know that we've seen crazier things in solo queue. A great gate comes in through Leona, the Zenith Blade hits, followed by the stun as well, and now we have next Canyøn making his way in there to put out enough damage to take out Nyro. Again, Nyro is a Katarina main. He has most games played on her this season with a 68% win rate over about 170 games, and was forced onto the Ahri, which is his second most played champion this season, but unfortunately clearly not where he's comfortable with, as he's more of a Katarina one-trick pony. Peluking is just taking so much abuse from Khan in the top lane that he's going to really not be able to hold a candle to him unless we see a gank coming through from, who is Peace of Mind again? Oh yeah, from Peace of Mind, who is just our player who has gone so far so quickly to get to Challenger already. Qiyana moving in on Nyro here. Again, another character that has about a 70% win rate on her champion. It's going to be a really toxic lane as soon as you get behind on Ahri. Right? We see a flash come in from Ming and a nice headbutt pulp, gets knocked up both on Leona and Tristana. They're trying to focus down the Leona, unfortunately, while she has her shield on her. That's not going to be enough damage, but they quickly switch focus over to the Tristana, and a nice block of the Kaisa W is able to save Leona's life. And all the while, we see a gank happening on top lane on this poor Jayce from the Antonio on the Jayce up there. Is going to end up going down to, unfortunately, a gank against him. He is now 2 deaths in the game. Still not as much as the mid laner on Nyro with his 3 deaths currently. So we already see blue team slipping further and further behind in the early game here. We already have a 3k gold deficit. At least what we see now on the Dragon is Graves trying to focus that while all the attention is towards the top lane for the red team. The first Dragon will easily go over to the blue team here with no contesting and no awards happening for them, and it is an Infernal Dragon, which is going to be one of our most powerful. Our poor Ahri in the mid lane is under so much so much pressure, pressable. And also, ooh, Miss Qiyana ultimate is going to be pretty unfortunate there. Potentially we'll see a Lillia ultimate come out, but it was actually used top lane previously. Unfortunately, Nyro needs to be a little bit more careful here, but next Canyøn just walks into the Graves, who's waiting for him after that turret dive, and a failed turret dive comes in after the Antonio comes down from top lane. He knows that lane is over. He's going to have to try to find some plays elsewhere, and he just does just that in the middle lane. Evening out some additional killers here. We have a headbutt that pushes away Tristana. Ming almost is able to get the nice combo off, but we have Iceland 18-year-old, which is again Doggo from PSG Talon, able to burst him down pretty easily with a fully charged E and also an ultimate from her as well. Red team's going to push this turret in now, potentially get at least 1 plate here, or it looks like Doggo just actually wants the back on the Tristana. So he's going to go and use that extra cash for some additional items, potentially get Gromp instead. I guess he's moving over towards Gromp because he's a little bit short on cash. Yes, he is. And after that, I'm sure he'll probably go back and kind of cash in some of those winnings that he got from getting that previous kill on Ming in the bot lane. It's so crazy to see so many players from around the world in the same game in solo queue that it's just honestly a casting dream right now that you were able to get all these players in one game with each other. Typically, you'll see just, so many random players from solo queue. A nice Hex Flash followed by a Headbutt Pulve is going to lock up Khan in the top lane here. And now we have Lillia following up, which is next Canyøn, which is, again, Manatee from LDLC LoL. Jayce goes a little bit too deep and dies from Khan there, and now we have Qiyana coming from the mid lane, more than likely going to burst down Ming on the support Alistar here. He does eventually get the kill and then flashes away to save his life as well, but we also have our Peace of Mind, our Graves player, able to finish off the kill there. Qiyana might be able to do an outplay here, but let's not forget that Peace of Mind already has 5 kills here. And we also have Nero here, who gets his first kill of the game, getting a little bit of payback there and a shutdown. Oh, no, not a shutdown, excuse me, but getting a little bit of payback on the Qiyana one-trick pony on the red team. 18 kills, 9 minutes. Not even a second to breathe right now, but I love it. I love it. I love it. And more than likely, we're going to see a Peace of Mind finish this blue buff here and then go back. I was thinking maybe he, with no pressure on the top side of the map at this point, maybe move for Rift Herald, but he opts to instead spend some of that extra gold. He already has a 350 gold shutdown and a shield bow to his name. So red team's going to be in a lot of trouble here if this Graves is able to make it 2 fights. If not, we already see 4 deaths on Ming on the Alistar. We see 3 deaths on Nero on Ahri, who was able to get a little bit of additional gold from that Qiyana kill previously. Khan might actually walk down the Antonio here. He does get a nice Rune Prison off on him, followed by a nice EQ combo. Meanwhile, we have Ming in the mid lane trying to gank the Qiyana, which eventually goes down again to Ahri. The second kill from Ahri on Qiyana. Nice little comeback there. A flash in from Neo, and then his Zenith Blade is locking up Peace of Mind in the bot lane. Here comes that shutdown gold over to Tristana. 650 gold over the way to her. Definitely not good when it's going to be on, again, PSG Talon's Doggo. One of the best 80 carry players in the world. Again, a testament to how he's made it to mid-season invitational. Needs to be a little bit careful here from Ming coming in, but he cuts his losses and actually hops in instead. Potentially was trying to get the reset off of his bomb there, but was not able to after the pulverize. We have Khan again just bullying the Antonio in the top lane, who is now 3 levels behind. Lillia is almost dying. It's a blue buff and Gromp down here, but she's... Oh, she does die! What? That's not correct. That's not good. That's definitely, you would not expect that. Gromp was able just to do enough little burst damage to her, and now both of those jungle camps are going to go untouched for the red team. Lillia is going to fall a little bit more behind there. Not good. Not good at all. But again, just overall a pretty even game. Our next our next objective that is going to be coming up is going to be the Wind Dragon. So we more than likely will see a pretty large fight over that unless red team is able to establish a good enough vision control. Qiyana is now actually under some duress here in the mid lane, considering early game she had such a leg up on Nero. Again, typically the Katarina player in the mid lane, but now thanks to some great movement around the map from Nero and able to get 2 kills on the Qiyana, it seems like he now has the upper hand, which is pretty surprising considering, again, Qiyana is such a snowbally champion that once you get ahead with her, it can be pretty hard it can be pretty hard for the enemy laner to really get back into the game. Here comes another Hex Flash from Ming in the bot lane. It looks like red team is all the wiser to it, and they're just going to easily walk away there. We also have both the mid laner and the jungler for blue team moving down, but Qiyana has caught wind of this and is also moving down herself from the mid lane. It looks like she's going to double back, and now we might just see a 4-person gank below this turret. Ming does have his ultimate available on Alistar, so he's going to be happily taking this up. Leona just gets all the focus on her and dies so quickly over to Unforgiven on the Kaisa. His 3rd kill with no deaths. Qiyana gets a beautiful ultimate off on the Graves Peace of Mind, who's able to flash away and almost live. He does live. I don't think that seed's going to hit him. He just needs to run as fast as possible. Blue team is so low, but SK Unforgiven again is able to do so much burst damage over to the Lillia player that's going to serve him his 4th death. And now this dragon is more than likely going to favor the blue team if they decide to move over there. Khan the whole time is just having his own little party up in top lane. Again, the Antonio on the Jayce is not going to be able to really do anything to him when he is now 2 levels behind 3 previously. And I believe that was first turret, yes, going down to Khan on the Ryze, which is not what you would expect in this game when you have some great turret pushers in both Qiyana and Tristana in both the middle and bot lane. Instead, it goes over to the AP carry, and as I mentioned previously, thanks to after all that scuffling in the bot lane, Graves was able to hop over the wall with his dash. I actually don't know the name of it, I apologize. Hop over the wall and get the second dragon of the game, the Wind Dragon, push it into his team's favor. Khan's going to ultimate out of here and more than likely back and buy some items. He is also very far ahead. Let's see some of the gold numbers already in this game, because we know top lane, if anything, is just suffering the most. 3k gold behind is Jayce, very feast or famine champion, so that's not going to be ideal for him in this game. In our jungle, we already know Graves has 5 kills and is about 1k gold ahead of his opponent. Mid lane is the most interesting. They are pretty tight right now, 400 gold difference towards the Ahri. Kaisa also 4 kills against the Ming. Against the Tristana in the bot lane is going to be basically only 1k gold ahead, so not that big of a deficit there. And then our supports, which, I mean, they're basically even. We don't even really care about the money difference there. We have blue team moving over to what is going to be the Rift Scuttle. I thought potentially Rift Scuttle. I got Rift Herald. They're able to net it, so all the objectives really going the way towards the blue team thus far this game. Here comes Ming looking for another headbutt pole combo, but he's not going to be able to find it. Would have been nice with the 4v3 advantage that they had in the mid lane for blue team, but they'll happily take the Rift Herald and walk out of there. If they have really one leg up right now, it's going to be the fact that they've, again, received every single main objective in this game so far. And red team is really going to have to make a pretty big decision at this point. Hold on, huge Qiyana ultimate coming in, but the headbutt pole was able to lock up her long enough to hopefully save Ahri. I mean, she really was under no danger of going down there. Leona is there to hopefully match the Alistar, but she's not going to be able to put enough pressure considering the Qiyana just was bursted down immediately. Another headbutt pole comes off on the Lillia. I don't think Nero's going to have enough damage to really finish this off. And no, they're just going to keep poking. Here comes the Alistar ultimate a little bit early there, considering he did just get Lillia ulted immediately after that. The pole nets two of them, and potentially we'll see Graves move into the mid lane here. SK Unforgive goes down to the 2v1 in the bot lane. Beautiful Graves ultimate, followed up by some additional Ahri damage. He's able to net the kill on the Lillia. And Peace of Mind's going to walk down Neo here and eventually fall to the red buff, or was that the smite from Graves? It actually was the smite from Graves, and there goes down the Rift Herald in the mid lane. That turret's going to fall pretty easily, but we're matching that turret falling with the bot lane turret falling to both Khan and Ming. Is it Ming? I'm sorry, Khan and Doggo on the Tristana in the bot lane. Two turrets to what will soon be one for in the red team's favor. The one thing they are truly winning in besides goal count. Ooh, Pelu King is there. The Antonio on Jayce is able to push out a lot of damage. Qiyana's going to have to make a crazy, almost cuss there, a crazy play here to really get away. He's not able to do that. Again, Peace of Mind now has 7 kills. He already has a BF sword and a shield bow, so he's able to output so much damage. There goes the first turret for red team. I'm surprised they weren't able to get the mid turret after that Rift Herald, but clearly they were pressured off that. And so now the game will go back into a vision control war to see who is able to catch out who while we wait for our next objectives to spawn here. Only a minute and a half on our next dragon, which is Ocean Drag, and it's going to be a big decision again for red team to make if they actually want to fight this, because they really need to. Again, when you get 3 dragons into the game, that is when you really need to make that decision of, okay, we really need to fight this. And as the numbers stand right now, it should be a pretty close fight, but just seeing all the damage from the blue team. Hold on, Neo gets caught out from the Alistar from Ming and needs to flash over the wall after already using his ultimate there. Ming's going to be able to walk him down, but a beautiful Ryze ultimate from Khan is able to gap close them both over the wall and get Neo to safety. Ming did some great job with some lockup there and some additional damage coming from his team, but unfortunately, Nero on the Ahri in mid lane does not have enough damage yet, even being somewhat far ahead of the Qiyana player. We really either needed the Graves there or SK Unforgiven on the Kaisa to do more. The charm misses on Ming. I'm sorry, I keep calling him Ming. On Doggo, on Tristana. And again, we are just going to everyone's going to try to make sure that they are healthy enough for this dragon coming up. We see the vision game is pretty even towards the bot side river. We don't want, I'm sure both teams don't want anything crazy to happen here. It looks like Leona's going to try to get her own Hex Flash off, potentially on Nero in the mid lane, but it would be a pretty easy disengage from Ming on the Alistar. Unfortunately, Graves gets caught out here by a beautiful Qiyana ultimate. He tries to do enough burst damage to next cannon on the Lillia. They both are able to get away. I apologize, that was Jayce. The whole time, that was actually the Antonio on the Jayce that got caught out there. But a beautiful flash from him over to the blue side wall. And all that distraction from the red team. Graves, who isn't a pro player, I apologize, is able to sneak an additional dragon there while the red team is too focused on trying to get just 1 kill. So unfortunately, no big team fight happening on that dragon as I was hoping. All that's happening here is massive macro is going into the favor of the blue team. They're now even on turrets after Doggo was able to, not Doggo, after SK Unforgiven was able to net that bottom turret. And with that lack of vision, unfortunately, Neo walks into 3 members of the blue team, and he's able to trade that kill. Quick water break here while we see if Ming is able to get a Hex Flash over the wall onto Khan. he's more than likely going to be fine here. We do have 3 members of the blue team bot lane, and we do have Baron spawning pretty quickly here. With how fast this game is going, 31 kills in almost 20 minutes at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some play around Baron pretty early. We have the Antonio going in on Khan, who is 3 levels behind him right now. It's because Ming is right behind him, but another, Ryze ultimate almost gets him out, but unfortunately that beautiful pull is able to stop him from moving any further, and even with the Antonio being 3 levels behind, he's able to actually kill what is potentially the best top laner in the world in Khan. Gets away there. And now we have Ming. That is correct. That is Ming. Nope, that's Doggo. We have Doggo on Tristana now moving into the mid lane, doing some great burst damage to his opponent on Unforgiven, but he's more than likely just going to be able to heal up pretty easily here and happily walk back. He really doesn't have much lifesteal at all, and so I'm surprised he's getting such big heals off of these minions in mid lane. Unforgiven is. He was basically at below half health, and as I mentioned previously, here comes the sneaky Baron from Graves, who's been doing it to the red team all game. He's already snuck basically 2 dragons, and now he's going to start doing the Baron as well. We have Nero pushing off the Lillia player and also gets a beautiful charm on her. It's going to be probably an easy kill if the Zhonya's and stopwatch doesn't come out, but eventually Peloquin gets a beautiful Q off on her as well to finish her off. We have the Leona ultimate come through that stuns 2 of them, but again, she is so far behind that the W for her is going to basically do nothing for her. We do have Qiyana coming in to finally net the kill on the Antonio on the Jayce, and now Nero's in trouble as well. The Qiyana ultimate almost hits, but she has to flash away, but Khan is waiting for her there as well to finally burst her down. Don't forget, the whole while blue team is doing the Baron, and it finally goes down, and now here comes Peace of Mind, the most fed person on the blue team, to now do a little bit of cleanup duty. Unforgiving next to the Qiyana kill as well, and now we have, oh gosh, make sure it's right, Brian, we have Doggo on Tristana trying to run away, the last surviving member of the red team against the additional 2 here. Peace of Mind more than likely will be able to easily take him out. Oh, but a beautiful flash and a rocket jump is able to save, gosh, get it right, Brian, Doggo, with about 50 health there. I don't know why I'm having such hard time distinguishing Ming on the Alistar from Doggo on the Tristana, but I apologize for what has been a lot harder of a game to cast, considering everybody is using different in-game name aliases, and some of our players aren't even pro. They do just go by their names from what I know. So my bad for a little bit of a shoddiness with those names there. I'm still improving. Every cast gets better, as I mentioned, and I do as much research as I can before these. Typically takes 30 minutes to an hour to really settle out who everyone is and get a little bit of practice in before these. So thanks for dealing with me this game on that. I know you guys know, hopefully, what I'm talking about most of the time when I'm referencing Doggo on a Tristana. Really, how is Red Team going to end up winning this game? That's a great question at this point. We know that Dragon, again, the last potentially Dragon Soul is coming up in about 1 minute. So this more than likely will decide their fate. We need to burst down Peace of Mind on the Graves as fast as possible because he is outputting enough damage, but if too much focus is pushed over to him, then more than likely Unforgiven on the Kaisa is just going to go on a tear. So really we need to burst down both of those, potentially get a huge Lillia ult. Maybe that would do it for them. I don't know if Ming wants to flash into 4 people here. He does eventually get caught out by the Leona. He does get a nice double pull off with a rocket jump is buffered for Ming to get Doggo to get away. And here comes Leona onto Unforgiven, who does have his shield bow proc, and then he's going to be able to do enough damage to kill the Leona before he dies. Qiyana eventually moves in onto Unforgiven to finish the job himself, but all the while Peace of Mind is in the backline, just ruining the enemy jungler and Lillia. We only have Khan, and we also have Doggo, and we also have, again, the Qiyana one-trick pony alive right now. The blue team's more than likely going to force them into the river here because, again, this Dragon Soul is finally up for them. So they scoot over to here. Vision is on their side. Khan is trying to move in, and again, Graves is just sitting on the dragon by himself while his team zones out the enemy team. They're not even going to try to move in here. It's probably the best call for the red team, considering, again, they have no vision, and the blue team could be hiding anywhere. We have great pixability in both the Alistar and the Ahri charm. So it's just going to be really difficult for them. And now Ocean Drag or Ocean Soul goes over the way of the blue team. In these longer fights, in these more elongated fights, they're just going to have that much more of an edge. Even with Ocean Soul being the Dragon Soul that gives you the least amount of oomph, technically, when we look at total win rates from Dragon Souls. But really, the game is just so heavily in the blue team's favor now, unless, again, as I mentioned previously, if we see a huge Lillia ult, that might be the tide turner. But really, that's more than likely going to be it. Or a huge Leona Lillia combo potentially could give us that same result. Blue team sitting in the red side jungle here. We see some pings coming out from the Graves, a very macro-centered jungler here going towards the Baron, but unfortunately... Oh, I'm sorry, that was a surrender vote that was failed. That faked me out. A surrender vote that was failed for the red team. Oh my gosh, I was about to go into post-game analysis wrap-up mode, but this game is still going. 2 people at least on the red team believe that they can win, and honestly, I find that mindset endearing. I'm a person that likes to never give up, so clearly we have some members on the red team that do believe they have enough oomph to win this game. We'll see if that's possible. Again, the next big objective is really going to tell the tale here. We've seen blue team just completely dominating and sneaking all these objectives the whole game. We have a knockup going off on the Qiyana player, and so much damage coming out on the other side of the wall from Unforgiven is able to easily kill her, pretty much 100 to 0 her with a little bit of assistance from that knockup. Neo's trying to run away and is getting just hammered down by the Graves player. And then also Lillia steps a little bit too far after getting charmed from the Ahri and is able to just get cleaned up by the blue team. Completely disheartening, especially after a surrender vote call, to see no additional play coming out from the red team. They are playing very well, but again, we have such a star-studded cast here. And even so, our best performing player on the blue team is actually potentially, again, we don't know 100%, just a really good jungler in solo queue. Again, was able to find no information on this Graves. He's only Diamond 1 in this game currently, and he's playing in a challenger level game. So he's really holding his own against all of these pro players that are available in here. First inhibitor goes down in the top lane. Second inhibitor is easily going to go down in the mid lane here. All of red team is alive, so blue team is going to back out here and play this safe. Unfortunately, as much as we feel that this game is over, this is the correct play, especially when we have Baron coming up in about 30 seconds here. They're going to clean out all of the red side jungle, and now they're going to move. Oh, Leona misses. We also have a charm miss after a beautiful flash from Khan from the Ahri. He tries to burst her down. He needs to be careful from the Alistar combo and gets a huge amount of damage pushed out by D'Antonio on top of him, who's able to finish him off by switching forms there. And then unfortunately, Qiyana goes in a little bit too deep after landing a pretty decent ultimate. Beautiful Lillia ultimate is able to lock up the, lock up the peace of mind and get the shutdown off on her. So lots of gold going her way. Ahri's also moving in as well, and Lillia's going to try to do what Lillia does best and trot away, but keep in mind, all the while she's getting out of here, we already have blue team, the bot lane for them, pushing down this bot inhibitor turret, and potentially going to be moving to win the game. I don't know, directed camera, this is the best thing to focus on, because Lillia is clearly dead. There goes the last inhibitor for red team, so we're going to start seeing double super minions move into the game, and it's just going to be that much harder for them to push out, while blue team, more than likely here, even though the game is pretty much over, moves over to the Baron Nashor, because again, Graves' peace of mind has been such a macro-focused jungler this game that even though this game looks completely unwinnable from the red team, I'm not going to be surprised if they just move over there, take that Baron before taking those double super minions and finishing up the game, really making it completely unwinnable for them. And why not, honestly? Why not just completely secure the game? Because I was going to say, we're already this far ahead, let's just lock it up 100%, but they don't need to move over there because finally the red team does surrender. Our last believer, or at least one of our last believers, does hit that surrender button as well, and the victory goes over to the blue team. Phenomenal game. I really need to start casting more of these super server games because this is out of control. What an absolutely star-studded cast, and it was a pleasure to cast this game. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. I hate saying it, but you know, rules and such. Hit that like button, give me a subscribe to see more of my videos in the future. Tell me who you'd like to see cast next, and that's really it, y'all. I hope you have a great day or night or whatever it is for you, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.